My question is that when we used to means run React in a browser, so there is one file is Webpack, and another is that Babel.
Yeah.
Babel, as I know that it transpiles that JavaScript code for the into the readable version of the browser. And what about that Webpack? Because recently I'm just going through White, where means it's saying that it's much efficient and better than Webpack. So I want to know the concept of means total internal concept of Webpack, so that I can understand why.
See, Webpack.
Just
What Webpack do? It make a bundle of the JavaScript. With whatever dependency you have used in your application, okay, whatever thing you have used in your application, it it make a unified version of it. Okay, so
yeah,
that can run on JavaScript. Nothing other than this. It don't have mean with the I would say with the project scaffolder project which we get that that is only it work. Okay, when we make a build of it, it will
yeah,
just make a bundle of all the JS code which we write from
yeah,
JSX. Okay, and make a minified version of a file. So when you build your application and run in your server, you will see
yeah.
you only have one HTML page and one JS page, nothing else. Okay, and
Okay,
all your JS code will get minified, will get or I would say all the JSX code which you
yeah.
write get minified and bundled through Webpack, and it's stored somewhere. Okay, that that will uh, that will use by the browser to run your application. So this is the work for the scaffold. But if you go on deep, it may have multiple work. So that's a other thing. But for now, it just do a bundle of the thing. But whatever
Yeah.
dependency you use and whatever
Yeah.
JSX code you use, it make a minified version of it and create one JS file. Okay, and store it somewhere.
Okay.
Right when you
Okay.
create a build.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, let's start today we will learn a few things. What are the things today we will learn? We will learn first how can we create a navigation bar, or how can we uh, create a router in React. Okay. Then
Okay.
how we will hit an API and get data from router. Okay. So,
Okay.
sorry, from external, I would say API. So what I did, I hit one free API that is from JSON placeholder. But,
Yeah.
okay, and then I listed there, and I listed it in two way. One by using a card, and second in a tabular form. The same API. Then since we have created the login and registration page, so we will see how we can hit the API and how we can pass the data from our form to I would say backend or to backend server. It may be our server, anybody else server. Okay. Same for the registration page. So let's see how we can do this kind of stuff and how we can create all those things. So last time, if you remember, when I created this form, what I did, I used the old version of, I would say, React. Okay, React router DOM. So whenever you want to, okay, you want to use a router, you have to
Yeah.
use this library. Since React is
Yeah.
the library, so it does not provide you all the features. Okay, so if you want to include some new features, then you have to use a library, and to use a router in our application, in React application, we need this library to be installed in our machine. Okay,
Yeah.
so let me open the chat also. So what we will do, we will simply open our terminal. Let it be open. Let me open our terminal, and then we will just type npm install, and that's it. React router DOM. Okay. So if you go to, so it says it's the package that contains bundle for using React router in the in web application. Okay. And how we can use it? It give us some uh, definitions, like go here. Let me go here. Yeah. Okay. This taking us to the same page. Yeah. So through this page, you can see the different functions which it does. Okay. What we will do, we will first install our React Router DOM in our application. In last class, I shown you like this, but when I see it updates, I found like this was the older version. When with 6.3, this type of routing we were using. Okay, it's it's a good practice. You can use it in this way, or one better way would be, instead of writing your router inside an XML, or inside an HTML type of tag, you should create a JSON. You can create a JSON file for this. Okay, and then utilize your router there. So you can create router in this way. In first class, I have shown you there. If you don't know, you can go to the video and you can rewind those things. But what I did, for new version, for updated version, what I did, I created one folder which is called as router. Okay, and inside that folder, I I added this thing. So if you go to it main folder, uh,
Yes, can you show the code? Yeah. Okay.
we will be talking. Sorry, Raval, your voice is not coming clearly. Can you speak again?
Yeah, I was asking that I need to if you show us the code, means that routing part, new means that updated version that you mentioned.
Okay, if you go to package.json, if you go to package.json, you can find the version is 6.16. Okay, and from I would say 6.6, mainly. You sorry, your voice is not clear, Raval. Raval, your voice is not clear. Can you come closer to your laptop?
I think Raval Saurav is please can you mute Raval?
Yeah, yeah.
Hello. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes, I was saying that routing part, the create browser part that you were showing
Okay.
in that that one
Info.
router.js
Okay.
router.js that you made. Yeah. Okay, so okay, so
So
that means you are making each means children all will be there. This all will be in children.
yeah, yeah,
Login,
yeah, yeah,
registration,
yeah,
user
yeah,
detail.
yeah. Let me complete everything. Okay, so that everybody
Okay,
can
okay, sure, sir.
understand. Yeah, yeah. What
Okay,
what
okay, sir.
So from React 6.6, what they told, instead of using that way, which is specifically for the browsers. Okay, if you use this way, then this will work. Now also it is working, but this will be specifically for the browser only. Okay, but what they said, no, we will use a way which can be compatible to all the places. Like we can use this route in our native application as well as browser application or desktop application. In all application where we need
Okay.
where we use the React. So for that we should use this way of routing. Okay, what way? Like instead of an XML route, we will create a JSON route. Okay, we will create some kind of JSON file format. Okay, and then we will give our routing there. Understandable? So since it's a new version, and it has been advisable by the React also to use this kind of routing. So instead of going traditional way, we should go with this way only. Okay, because
Yeah.
this way of routing would be compatible to the other places also, to the web application and to the desktop applications also.
Yes, sir.
Understandable? Any question?
Sir, I have a question. Is that,
Yes.
let's
Yes.
say, means clients want to say that in the mobile version he don't want to show particular, let's say, uh, contact us page. He want to no, he don't want to show, but in the desktop version he want to show the same page. So can means I want to convey is like that. Can we restrict the same page on the different screen size in the with the help of screen size? Can we do that in this router?
Yeah, you can. Okay, you can remove this element, you can remove this thing based on the your screen size. Okay, you can mean inside of element you can write component here also. Okay, those kind of features have been provided with the new versions. So I would say yeah, you can do it in that way.
Okay.
Yeah, so what I was telling, it tell us to use in this way. Okay, it use the same thing, it use the create browser router, and then in this way, like the path and the element could be a component, or could be any HTML tags. Okay, whatever you want. So you can give an HTML tag there also, or you can they give the components also. Same thing, it will work without any problem. Now, now you should know what are these things. This path, you understand, this path tell us the base path. Okay, the base application, where my application should land. Okay, what should be my landing page. So what I given a backslash mean whatever your URL, it is our main landing path. Okay, then element mean for our landing path, what should be our element, what should be the page which is available to all the path, all the places. Okay, so this landing page will be available to every place, right? If I open my browser like xyz.com, then this thing will be available to all the pages. What I kept here, I just kept menu here. If you go to the projects, see the landing page which is inside dashboard. What
Okay.
I did, I want to make my menu to be available in all the routes. So I kept menu, and then inside it I kept outlet. Outlet means it will append the component which we get from our URLs. Okay. So
Okay.
if we write something like this, uh, localhost colon 3000 backslash, so it will open the landing page. So what will happen? You will have your landing page here, right? Whatever thing I wrote, XYZ. Okay. What I did here, I in landing page, what I did, I told, okay, first have a menu on top, right? And then, oh sorry, and then beneath it, below it, uh, bring the outlet. What is outlet? What is this outlet? Outlet means the extra thing, the children part. Okay, what what we give there. So if I write something like this, so it will always have menu. It will always have menu because for our base application, I'm telling, please have this, always have this, and then outlet, place the outlet based on your uh, children path. Okay. So if we are in landing page, so what will happen? Menu will always appear, and then since I haven't given any path here, so it will pick up whatever thing are there in our dashboard. It will pick up and place in. Okay. Okay. So again, if I give URL something like this, so what will happen? My base path, base element should be there, which is this, and inside outlet, it will replace the component which I have defined in our children path. Means it will change it to this. Understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Any question from anyone here? Like why we are using router in this way, and how this router how this router is working on background.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
So that means in this way, if we route that this application, that
Mhm.
means do you want to say that landing page will be it
Always
can be
busy.
unauthenticated, and other those children components will be authenticated. Am I right or
See, based on your authentication and everything,
yeah?
you can change your menus. Okay, based on those things that will come on a later part. Based on those things, this landing page again, this menu can be changed. Okay, based on our authentication and everything, you can change those things dynamically. That's the second part. That's the other thing. You may show those things, or you may don't show those things.
Okay.
Understandable? So
Yeah.
those we will done. We can remove this menu part, based on uh, based on those things. That's the secondary part. We can done those things. Those are not a difficult part. But later on we will see those when we do all
Yes.
this. But for structuring part, this is the way. Anybody have any question? Like, what does this thing do? What does this thing do? And another thing, when you see in some place, you will see they use exact.
Whi- Which one, sir?
Can you
Exactly.
can
Yeah.
you re-explain it, sir?
Yeah. Anybody was saying anything?
Can you re-explain it? Actually, routing that
Okay.
you have actually.
Okay. Then I have pinged you this link. Okay. This is the uh, main tutorial where they show how can we do this thing. Okay. So if you see this, I will go up first. So within this method, we can do multiple things. But for now, what I am telling you, like how we can set up our router. Okay, then we can, after that, then we can move forward, and we can do multiple things based on our project requirement. Okay. So first thing, how we write this thing, we should write this inside an array of our browser, create browser router. uh, okay, library which we get from this library, create auto dom library. Okay. Yeah, create auto dom library. So I have to use this function, and inside this function, what we are doing, we are sending an array of JSONs. Okay. it can be multiple JSON. For different paths, we can give different routing, right? So for base path, what I am doing, if somebody type xyz.com, then for that, uh, we are defining a path. Like if somebody comes to this page, what would happen? What I did, we need to write path, element, error element, and child. These are the basics four things that you need for a routing. I would say not the four things. You can remove the childs also. Okay. If it's a single page, if it's a I mean, if you are working on a module, not the full application, but a modules, then you don't need a child. We don't have a child. It's a single page application, so you don't need a child also. So you can remove those also, right? So, but since we are working on an application which will have a multiple pages, so I given this child array, which will hold the child of our landing page or the different pages which we have in our application. So what we need to write the path. Path means the base path. The base path. Okay, since I given backslash, so somebody type xyz.com slash or xyz.com slash means it will land to this place. Okay, and what I did for land in element, I declare which which element should be universal. Since it's a parent path, so this anything we define inside this element, it will be universal to all the other modules which are inside this router. Okay, so what I defined there, if you go there, I created one component, and inside it what I did, I was thinking my menu should be visible to all the pages, so I added the menu and I give the outlet. If you don't want menu to be visible to all the pages, you can remove the menu. Okay, whatever thing you want to be visible all the pages, you can put it there. Like in some of the application, the logo, the top logos are visible to in all the pages. So instead of menu, you can give logo, okay, or the different thing. And then uh, I have given another, I have created another route. Like if somebody enter the wrong path, okay, the wrong URL, then put it into this page. It's basically a 404 pages, okay. and the
Oh,
child child means after this URL xyz.com slash login slash registration slash user details, okay, this kind of uh, URL.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so we have done this.
Sir, that means, if I am not wrong, it will act as like site layout. There will be one common component that will be visible to all these children pages. Am I right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Whatever thing you define here, that will be visible to all the different pages.
Sir, I have another question.
Okay.
Is that, let's say I want, means for, here is a landing page. I want another component, or I want to change on the landing page. Um, Okay, so at that time, means just like in Next.js, what we can do, that we can do means multi site layout type. So can we do in here also?
Yeah, you can do anything. If you want to create your main pages like your left panel, right panel, top panel, everything like that, you can create
Yeah.
those things. You have to put the component here. So what will happen? Those components will be visible to every place. Like if you see any GitHub, if you go to any GitHub account, okay, what you see? In this thing generally become consistent, right? And these are
Yeah, yeah.
multiple components. So for this module, this is something called project modules. Okay, for this module, this
Yeah.
kind of designs are always there. But when you see when we go to any other pages, when we go to any branch, okay, see you will it is inside this tree, right? So you can see it maintain everything, right? And it change only this, correct? Now when we go to any deeper folder, okay, mean this can be dynamically done. No need to worry. Okay, everything.
Yes,
So
sir.
we can include multiple components there also, and based on our condition, we can remove and update those designs also.
Okay, 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 sir. Okay, sir.
What is in the outlet page, sir?
Outlet means where the child, whatever thing we will return in the child path, in the children path, those components will come up there.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
like
yeah. I got it.
No, I mean to say that we have imported route outlet. Go there, the page landing page.
it is from React DOM, React Auto DOM. Okay, this is this is the component of React Auto DOM, which tell us like if for what router what component should be visible.
So can you just first run this page so that we can see that how this page will look like? Like so the menu will be come at the left hand, menu will be come at the right hand, like that.
Okay, so this is a page. I have done a few things here. This is the page. So if you want to see how it works, how it look like, uh, let me complete this thing full. Okay, then I will come up here. So this is not the full complete thing. Then what we need to do if you want to include router in our application, we, uh, we have to. I mean, what I did, I am keeping this app.js page where I will call the router. Okay, so I did not do anything. I did what it was written in the tutorials. What it says, where you need your router, you have to use in this way. Okay, you have to call a router provider, and then you have to pass these props. Okay, these props to the router provider. Then what it will do, it will it will add a router in the React application. Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
what
Yes.
what I did, I kept my index as it is. I did not touch my index. I went to app.js, and inside app.js, I import the React provider component, and then I pass the router which I have created, the router JSON which I have created, okay, eh, into the props of this router provider. So what it will do, it will create a router for your full application. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now the question of now, like how we can see this router working, how we can see. So let me go there and change something. As I told you, like we can give anything. Okay. What I am doing instead of this element, I am providing a day. Okay. Hello dashboard. So what will happen now? Let me see. Let me open this. Let me reload this. Uh, okay, I am not running the application. Let me run. So, so what it will happen when the application run? It will render this this hello dashboard into this element. Okay, which element? Into this landing page component, I would say, where where it will render. It will render to the place where I write the outlet. So if I go to this landing page, it will have the menu, and beneath the menu here it will write hello dashboard. Let us see how it works. You can see when I given that, it render like this. So customer, any question now?
Yes, one thing that in
Okay.
Hello Dashboard, okay, suppose it is actually showing the menu like home, user list details. It is in the it is actually portraying as a children,
Yes,
okay,
as a children.
the page, okay, in the home page.
Yeah.
So home page, those things actually being displayed along with Hello Dashboard is being displayed.
Yes.
So that is the main thing. Can you?
Yeah, yeah, that is the main thing. When we create our router, what we are saying, so we are creating a basic path, the main path. Okay, the main path is so based on the modules. Suppose you are working on user modules, somebody is working on registration module, other person are working on transaction modules. So for those, the path would be different, right?
Hmm.
So webpack and different thing, we will combine this thing. Okay, when it gets combined, it will create the different paths, and this can be a different applications. Okay, the question which I would say it was asked by someone at the start of this year, of this class, like what are the use of labels in webpack. So through this we can give some command which will combine this all these three modules, which can be written on different places, on different git repositories. Okay, it will combine and make something like this. Okay, what I'm saying, like you might be working for this module, some other person, some other team would be working for sign in module, the third team can be working on this transactions modules.
Hmm.
By So with the webpack, what will happen if everything works well, when it build, we give some command in the build, it will combine everything and make a JSON file of this, right? So and your question is, yeah, mean do we need a child? We may need a child, or we may not need a child. Okay, it depend upon our utilization. Mean how we are utilizing this module. Like if we are working on sign-in module, there can be a single page, single sign-in page. All right. So for that we don't need a child, because it is just a single page, like a sign-in page. Okay, we don't need a child. But if we are working in a module which have some sub modules, so for that we create route like that. And if it have their own routing mechanism, so this defines the own routing mechanism for our application. When I hit the dashboard, mean the base location of our application. So for base location of our application, these are the mechanism, and if we add uh, something here element, then this element will act as our landing page, and this child will come on that landing page, on that page only. Okay, and if any modules which we don't need anything like that, we need only a single page, then we don't need any children, we can keep it as it is. Okay, and for
No,
some,
no. Actually, in children, whatever actually you have added the dashboard.
yes, yes, yes,
What? Yes, hello dashboard. Okay.
yeah,
So login, registration, like other stuffs are actually showing fine. Okay. Instead of the one hello dashboard, how it is showing instead of element, it should be shown as an element. No?
uh, uh, yeah, element means what, some tags, some HTML tags is called an element. Okay, so the data with the tags, so it will call as an element. So how it is showing. uh, See, in landing page, what we have written? We have written menu. It we may need or we may not need. Okay. And this outlet, what is the work of this outlet? It will take up the element which we define inside our router. Okay. For that location, and it will put it here. So if I type localhost 3000, or more precisely, this would be the main location. If we check the browser location in browser, it will store like this. So it has only a backslash in our application, right? So what will happen? The router of React will goes to this page and see what is our path. The path is backslash. So it will first uh, add the landing page. Whatever landing whatever thing I define here, it will add there. What I defined here, I define a menu, okay, and then I use a component called outlet which are coming from React Outer DOM. So what is the work of this outlet? The work of this outlet is to find the path which I have got it in our HTML into the React router children, and if it have anything, put it here. So what we have given, we did not given any other further path. We have just given backslash. Okay. Or if even if you don't give a backslash, then browser will think it's a backslash after the base location. Okay. It's a default behavior of a browser if you don't give any backslash at the end of our any URL. So what will happen? It will come here and see whether we have defined anything after the backslash. So what I did, I given this path as double quote without any space. So if any location come with the path of with the path location, this will also match because it will sound like similar to the browser. And what will happen? It will pick up whatever thing we have defined here from this place. It will copy it and it will paste it in in place of outlet. It will place that thing, and hence we see this. Understood?
Yes, sir.
In this way, we can add a router in our application. And I think this is the best way because this is a new way and this is the recommended way to use by the React developer by React team. Okay. Okay.
That
Last,
yeah,
yeah,
that means outlet find out the children actually, which
yeah, yeah, outlet find out the children.
for the it will find out the path and it will match with the children, correct children.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And see, I have given a URL like this also, and this is working. Okay, not giving any error. So this kind of thing you can do it in your application, or when you are working on multiple application, or this will be done by the webpack and all those things. Okay, tables and webpack you use to uh, merge all your code into a single router uh, with some command line. You have to give some command to which it will.
Uh, if we have multiple this one say children, can we have multiple children? That means, for example, in in user detail, if you have another path, again, how can we define another children for that one?
Yeah, we can see what I'm doing. If I click on sign in, okay. Generally, I have to use some other word which I did not define here. Okay, I did not define sign in here. So when I use the sign in, what will happen? For sake of this, I am showing this user list. Okay, I mean, the list
Okay,
which I was
okay.
showing. So this could be a different module, right? Or a different where the different teams are working. If you hit this, see, I come to this user list, and now inside this user list there is nothing, right? It will only show you the components. So in this way, a different we can work with
No,
the
no.
different.
What I'm saying is, in sign in again, if you have another, normally in real time we will have
Yeah,
children
yeah, 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 yeah.
multiple.
See, here I have written like that. Okay, like for transaction, there could be different children. It could be a different. It could bring some different components. So for this, if we need to have some more children, like we can put it like this. Okay, these are for the big projects. If you create some big projects, then you will do it like this. Okay, everything is
Okay,
fine.
okay. Again, we will have children. That's what.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Again, we will have children. So for sake of this tutorial, what I am doing, I am I will put it here. So what will happen? It will put my user. See, now it may not work. Okay, let me see, and then I will tell you why it did not work. It may not work here. So if I type sign in, what's that? Sign. Okay, only sign. It comes there, but if I type after that I type registration, it will not do anything. Why it did not did anything? Because in this page I did not give any outlet. Okay, so that's why it does not try to find any other path uh, which it have, or any other child which it have, and try to add it. This URL is fine. This URL is fine. URL did not give any error. But what happened? It did not got any other data. Okay, so what it does, whatever thing are there in our dashboard, in our user list, it just print there. It does not bring any other stuff from any other place, like for our first router, like for our first router. Like for our first router, like it bring from some other place also. Why it is displaying here, and why in this case nothing are displaying, the registration portion are not displaying here? Because in this I would say in this main path, which is our landing page, I declare the outlet. Okay, but in user list where where is the user list, inside the user it should be, yeah, in user list, I did not provided any outlet. Okay, I did not provided any outlet. Hence, the data are coming, but those data from the router are not showing any other place. So if you want to show it, we have to provide an outlet. Okay. 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 So now if I go to this page, if I refresh it, beneath it, okay, it's not coming. Actually this page is again the child of that page, so hence we cannot do that thing. Okay, manually it's giving some error, but these are the way where we can create our module. Based on the module we can create the custom URLs. Okay, and based on that we can work. And I would say the full application from Webpack it developed like this. Okay, it create the different router, and then it works. So since I'm using the same thing on the different pages, I think that's why it is giving some error. So if you do something, I mean if you test uh, uh, do some changes again and work, I think it should work. It should work there. Okay. So let it be. Let's move on. Okay. So regarding router, any other question from any person? We are clear. Why we are doing? We are clear. How we are doing? We are clear, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. Now what I did, instead of this, let me have my dashboard page. Let's go to the dashboard page. In last class, what I teach you, I taught you regarding something. Let me go to last class. Last class. Uh, yeah. So what I taught you is, whenever we write, we try to connect outside world with the React state. React state may work abruptly. So in order to stop it to work abruptly, we have to use one more hook, that is called use effect. So use effect is a hook that I use to communicate with, I mean, whenever we are communicating from outside world, or we are changing the DOM or component, okay, dynamically. So for that we use this hook. Minded use state is to maintain the state of your application, or in simple word, maintain the property or data of your application. And use effect, we use this hook to whenever we are trying to communicate with the outside world. Why? See, React work on virtual DOMs, okay, and if we try to communicate outside its system, then it it may think like there is some change. I mean, when the request goes, it thinks there is a change, and when it change, the state also gets changed. Okay, if you get response again, it thinks there is a change, and based on that change, those those state again re-render, and due to state change, it again re-render. So this thing, render and re-rendering thing, goes on the loop. Okay, so to stop this problem, React provided this use effect hook. It tells us whenever you are communicating from outside world, always write your function inside use effect hook. Okay. So
Sir,
what
I
we
have a
have?
question that
Yes,
I want to know what is the means basically concept of mounting and rendering.
yes, yes. Okay, mounting means when we have our component, then it bring it to HTML. Okay. Rendering means bringing data. Those kind of thing we can do it some other day. Let us complete this thing first, and then when we have a time today, we can discuss those things. Okay. Let us complete this thing first, and then if we have a time, we will discuss those. Because today I have lesser time. Okay. And then what I tell you, like always when you write this use effect is nothing but it expect a callback function, so you can do it two ways. Right. First, you have to include it from React, okay, and then you have to write in this way, use React, okay. It's a it's a function call, and inside a function, it expect a callback function. So I am writing it in both the way. And second is some parameters, okay. You can write in this way in old fashion, and this since we are working, we are thinking that like we will use an arrow function inside of this, so you can write in this way also. Both are correct, and both will not have any issue. Okay, but ideally, if you see any code, now people are using the ECMAScript syntax for writing the function, or the arrow function syntax. So you should know like we should write in this way. Okay, and inside this function, we write all the stuff, all the logics. Okay, and again, in order to stop that thing, what it we need to give a blank array, or the element name, or I would say the state property name. Okay, name, or change of it. This function, this logic should re change. Okay, so those things we have to write here. So these are the way. Suppose, for example, suppose if I want to call some functions in use effect, if there is any change to, I would say, this user data, then what I will do, I will put it here also. So this way, the first way, what it will do, it will it will run only once. Okay, similar to constructor or init, okay, of Angular. Okay. And this way, I mean, this way, it will fire on load fire on load to remove this comment so that it would be on load and on change of the given variable. Understandable? Like when we should write use effect in this way and when we should write use effect in this way. We will never write, we should never write in this way, okay? We should never write in this way. Always try to pass the second parameters, never write in this way. Okay. What will happen if you don't, if you don't do this? Okay, we should never write in this way. If you don't pass the second parameter of in a use state, then it will go on a infinite loop. So we should never write in this way because of this. Now we can write in this way. We write this use effect. Then since it's a function, so we give the parenthesis, and inside parenthesis we again it expects a callback function. So create a callback function, comma, then the array. We can create in traditional way or we can create in arrow function way. Always use the latest way. So we will use the arrow functions way. Okay. And all the logics we will write here. Okay. And then what you were saying, like mounting and unmounting. So when we do something, like if we get out from this page and we want to do something, then we can give a return. And here we will write the logic when we get out from this component. Okay. Any question from these things, like when we should use state, how we should use state, and which portion of the code do what thing for use state? Because if you don't know this thing, you will find a very confusing with working with the use state. Okay. So first thing I am repeating again, use state is the React inbuilt feature. It's a React hook that help us to write a code when your system is working with outside world, or when you want to fire any function or change your state, or fire any change your state, fire anything or do any specific work on change of state. Okay, or change of state variables, or yeah, or change of state variables, or change of state. So 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 that's the work of a use state and use effect. So, and how we write this, we always write in this way. Whenever you are writing, you should keep this on mind. Like at the end, you should pass the second parameter as an array. Even if you don't pass any variables, you should keep it as a blank array. If you don't do that, then you will find your array with the logics which you are written here. If it's an HTTP call, you will see the infinite time the HTTP calls are getting called from your system. Okay, so we should never use it this way. We should all, if you don't use any variable for the change of state we are want to pick, we should keep the array as a blank. Second thing, it work like a on init or on load function. Mean whenever this component get loaded, this function, whatever thing you write inside this, it will get called. Okay, so this means if we write something like this, then this function will get called whenever our application get load. Okay, then if we give the state name in the parameters of an array, then what it will happen, whenever we do any change on that state, this function use effect will get active, will call this thing, and whatever logic we will return, it will re-render that thing. Okay. Last thing, you will see like inside use effect, sometimes they give return, sometimes they don't. So what will happen if we give return and write some logic there? So when we want something to be called, before, when it get out from the component, suppose we are in a chat system and we want to get out from, we close our system, so we get out from that component. So the chat system should say like user is not available. So those kind of things, so those kind of logics, when we get out from the component, before going out of the component, we can provide some, we can add some logic in our application, and those logic would be written here. So what it will do, when we get out from the component, uh, this we will write a logic and those logic will be called on that time. Okay. Any question here? Why we use effect, when we use effect, and how we use effect? Any question from anyone? Nothing. Okay. So how I have used use effect in our application? Oh, ah, and again, on last class I told you something more. What I told before going up, we will use axios to call any HTTP calls. Okay, any HTTP APIs, we will use Axios to call, right? And then we have seen like this. This is the way how we call the Axios. Second thing, uh, before completing everything, the last class was stopped. So let's start from that place. So I will go to a dashboard page, and what I did, I created a state where I will hold the value which I get from these locations. Okay, from this base location. Okay, and when I try to show JSON, okay, we are returning this thing. That's right. Yeah. So we were in this stage, right? We were in this stage where we got this error, and then I stopped the application. So let us see. So since it's not populating the, I would say, the JSON format, what we will do, we will create an HTML portion. Okay, and when we hit this API, what we see, yeah, when we hit this API, we are getting this JSON. And what I'm trying to do, I want to show this. So in the similar manner, like the user ID, title, and body inside our dashboard. Okay, so in our dashboard. So what I will do, what I did, I done the simple thing like the way I told you. I have created the use effect function. Since this axios.get, it's an API, and it is calling outside from our applications. Okay, since it called outside from our application, if we write it in outside of our application, what will happen? It will re-render again and again. Let me, let me pause it. Okay. If I move it out from here and I will show it here, use it here. So what effect it will cause? What I'm doing, I'm just calling the axios. Okay, I I can give the error and everything. I can handle those things, but right now, for sake of examples, I'm not doing anything further. Okay, mean I just use this portion. Okay, I'm not catching or doing any final thing. That we will do later. So let me go there and see what happened whenever there is a communication with the outside state from React application from RJX. So what effect and side effect we will see in our application. So when we come here, you can see the headings. But if you open your element and see network, you will see this post call is getting called infinite times. Okay, so you can see it is getting called again and again, and unless it get some errors from the browsers. Okay, so whenever you make a call from your application, from React application to the outside world, you cannot do it in this way. If you do it in this way, then you will see it is getting called multiple times. Okay, why it's happened? Because React try to maintain its state. Whenever there is any change in the state, it will again try to re-render, and when it re-render, this function again get called. So again there is some change in the state, again it will re-render, and again when it re-render, it will it will call it again. Okay, so due to this thing, we cannot use any HTTP calls which are calling outside of your application inside our components. Okay, so how we can do that thing? We have a use effect thing which tell like anything which we write inside the use effect, and if we give an array symbol as a second parameters, it will call only once. It will not call multiple time. On re-rendering, this thing will never be called. So what we can do, we will just simply cut it from here and paste it here. Okay, and what I'm doing here, anybody can answer me this. What is this line number 24 will do? Answer from anyone?
14, line number 14 you are asking.
Yeah, line
Correct.
number 14.
Line number 14, we got the response in line number 13 by doing the axios.get by requesting whatever response we get. From that response, we have an object called data. That data we are setting to post variable, post use
Yes.
state or state variable we are setting.
Yes. So whenever we are getting any response from this API, okay, and inside the response we get the data, I mean, actual data inside this data key. So we are getting it, and then we are setting this post. I would say this post state. Okay, whatever data we got, we use it. And why we use state? Whenever we are communicating with the HTMLs and JSX together, we always give a state variable so that we should maintain the dynamic behavior. Okay, if we use a let variable, then it will act as a static thing. So we cannot do any dynamic thing with that. Okay, so we may not, I mean, for now we are not doing anything. We are not changing those things dynamically, but ideally, in later phase we will see, we will make our application as a dynamic one, and everything will be dynamic. So that's why we should always have this in a practice, like whenever we are putting any data from JSX to your HTML portion, you should always create a state first and then do it. Because if you don't do that, and if there is something which will get changed, then the JSX will not allow you to change. Like if you use this variable inside a text field, so text is a changeable thing, So and then if you use a let variable there and put it there, so that will not work. Okay, that will give the error that I have shown you in first two class. Yeah. So we have done this, and again, if I don't do this, again same thing happened, which happened in the first place. What happened whenever this get called, and sorry, on load this function will get called. Okay, and whenever there is a state change, since I did not given the second parameters, so this use effect will get called on every state change. So since the data got changed or something happened when we hit the API, so again this thing use effect will get called. And if you get so with that data, again your state got changed. So in that way, with state change, this API get called, and with this API response, again the state change, so again it call. I mean, it call the API again, so it will go in the infinite loop. uh, just see the net, get the better definitions, and then you will able to understand. Okay, so what I did, I simply put it here. Okay, now we want to display it in HTMLs. Okay, you can do it in different way, but a simplest way which React provide, or I would say ECMAScript provide, is by using a map function. Okay, so what we can do, we can now we want to display it, and this would be some kind of static content. Okay, so I use a const variable, because through this variables I have maintained the dynamicity. Okay, but what I will do, I will use that variable and create some content. So this is a way where I can write a map function, and this post I would say data, or each data, or each post. Let it this. Then what I will do, the benefit of this div is, I would say this map function is, let me show in div one. Uh, 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 Only this, and then with the object. Suppose I print the ID. Let me go there. So what I will do, I will just print this thing. I will display this thing. So what I did, I got the response. Okay, and then I call the map function. What map function will do, it will run, since I see the response. This response is an array. This response is an array of an object. Okay. So what I did, I call this map method, and what will happen? Uh, it will create multiple depths like this. With this post list will contain, when the render get complete, when this loop get complete, it will have this thing. It will have everything in this way. Okay, everything in this way will with this thing will be the number of uh, element which this post content. Okay, it will make in this way, and when we render this, and want to show it in our HTMLs, then what will happen when React render, it will it will change this post list with these variables, and inside this variable we have something like this. So it will change into this, right? And again, whatever value we get it from our API, it will update it with this. Understandable? And then when it render in HTML, the HTML property will apply and it will change div to align. Okay. What happened? Mistake I have done. I have removed the div also. Anything else? Nothing. So let us see what happened to our code. Okay, let us see why I did not able to see the. Okay, if we do this, if we give an arrow sign, we have to return it. Okay, sorry, if we give a bracket, curly bracket, then we have to return it. Else, we can do it without return also. So what we got the list of the IDs. Okay, so now we are able to hit the API, get the data, and then show it into our HTML. Anybody have any issue, any question here? Anyone have any question, any issue, like how I have done that thing, why I have done this thing? No issue. Okay. So what we can do here, if you want to catch anything, then we can give catch portion also. So we can log that. Okay. That etc. And then again we can replace this with the arrow function since we are using the arrow function at every place, so this will look like this. Okay, any question here? No. So this does not look good, so what we can do, we can use a card and then show it there. Okay, so how we can do this thing, uh, we will go to this react, I would say we will go to this react bootstrap. Let's wait for 1 minute. Okay, let's take 2 minute break and then I will come again. Okay, let us restart again. Okay. So now what I did, what we able to achieve, we are able to achieve the rendering portion. Okay, we can able to render those things. Now this thing does not look good. Okay, so in order to make it some more readable, what we will do, we will go to React Bootstrap. Okay, and then I will show it inside a card. So we will pick up any design which suit us, so we can use in this way or any way which you like, and then we can pick up the step. Okay, pick up the design which you want, and then you have to put it in. And again, if you are using return, either put it inside any fragment or uh, use it inside any div. So I am using fragment here, and then my design name in this thing, inside this whatever thing I will write here, it will append those things into a single one, and then it will show. Okay, what I will show, I have seen, like, I am getting this kind of data. So I will show ID as my header, then this title in title, and body in body of this React React card. Okay. Title I will show here. That will be the bigger font, and body I will show here. Okay. And above this, the header I will show the IDs. So inside header, what I will show ID like this. How we can use it? We will give a round bracket. Then we can access this variable, this dot whatever the key name. So if you see the API, the key name for ID is ID. For user ID is it. Okay. So let me show that also. This ID and then user user ID would be this. Then inside title, I will simply copy this and use title. And for our text, we will open the first body, right? Was body. Right? It is body. Okay, we will not show any filters and all those things. So I will simply remove this. And rerun this. Now, when I go to our page, see, our page design got changed. Okay, based on the design which I took from the cards. Okay. Anyone have any question here? I think this is the way where we can fetch data from any API. Anyone have any question here? Anything which he did not able to understand? Feel free to ask. Any question? No question, right? So similar design, similar way. If you want to show it in a tables, what I did in similar way, I created this I use this API in almost exactly the same way, the same API and everything. I I tried to show it in the tabular form. So Right. So now you just need the different design, and then you can implement it. One thing you should know, like whenever you are writing any variables, that is that will go on mute and create some design, uh, or go on loop and create some design. You need to show it like this. You have to create a variable, use that variable, create another variable which will contain the updated design from those data, and then put it inside the place where you want to show those data. Okay, so this is a way how we can store data in our tables. If you go to this React Bootstrap, okay, and go to table, you can find the way. Okay, you can find the way. So you can copy any way which you like. You can copy this, and you can see this is similar to your HTML tags, like this T head portion is your header portion, and what you will do, inside T body you create a multiple TR, so your loop will run for this TRs. Okay, if you see this design in HTML, I copy the tables, I copy the T head portion, keep it as it is. Then inside TR, what I am doing, I am populating the multiple TRs. Okay, multiple TR from this nav function and storing inside this variable. And then when I put it here, it gets re-rendered, and those things will make our page in a tabular form, and it displays something like this. Okay. So till now I did not use any custom CSS or anything. These are the pure, uh, I would say CSS, which I got it from React Bootstrap table, React Bootstrap application, and then I use it. Anybody have any question here? No question? Okay. So for next class, what I want from you, like whenever you click here, it should it should open a detail page. How the detail page should look? Something like this. Okay. Mean if I click user ID two, mean ID two, anywhere in this page, some it will open some page which contain the details which are showing here. Okay. So that should be a work for the next week. Uh, okay. Now we able to know how we can fetch data from our applications. Okay. And we have created these two things. We have created the login form and registrations form. Okay. Last day. And here we have done all the validations and everything. All the validations and everything, and everything was working fine. We have seen that thing. And if you want to, I think I did not record it, but you have to redo it again. Okay. So, so now if now for from any forms, what will happen? How we can call any post method? How we can send data from this form into the, I would say, into some APIs. So let us use some, I would say, same way, some APIs which we get it from this JSON placeholder. Okay, let us use any free API. I would say the post API, and see whether it's work or not. Okay. So what it tell, if you want to send some data, you can use, if you want to add some data, you can use the URLs like this posts. Okay. So we will do the similar way, like how we can add our login details, or logging data into our applications. We will have the URLs. So let's create the URL. So on next week I think we will start the both thing, the React and this our applications. The URL are same. So I will go to login page. Okay. Uh, I will pick up this base URL. Okay. Okay. And then how we will call that. So we will come here and see how we have called the get API. I will copy it. Okay. And then I will go to my login page. Now after submit. Okay. Okay. I will do it in registration page first. Okay, because in registration we have done all the validations and everything. Okay, after submit, when we do the validations, what we will do, we will call this API. It should be the post method, and I can see lots of error. Why? Why this axiom is not defined? Axios is not defined, so we have to import axios also. Any other issue which I see? Uh, the base URL. Let me see. Let me I will simply copy it from here. Okay. One more error. What error? So here I can see this. Let me alert this thing, and based on this, in reality we will do multiple steps. Okay, we can redirect to different page, or we can do other thing. But right now we are just alerting success. Okay. So how easy it was? Once we do all the validations, I think everybody remember this because yesterday only I showed you this, like how can we create the registration form, and then what I did, I simply call the post URLs. Okay, what the URLs which I said, and then okay, I think I have missed something. What? I am not sending the data, right? So how can we send data through post form? Let us see from the documents. Uh, Answers. And so if you go to document, you will find the way to send data in post. I think today's call would be very short. Today's class will be within this. Okay, I have some other work. So you can see in post call we give the URL, and then on second parameters we use the data. Okay, so we will do the same way. Like we have given the URL, then on second parameter, sorry, on second parameters, what we will do, we will use this data. This data was the state which maintain all the form data. So I will pass this as second parameters. Okay. Okay. And I think that's it. Our application is ready to do registration. But right now it's with some fake API. It's not with the correct API. But let us see whether it's working or not, and whether we can able to send data successfully from. Okay, when I click registration, okay, you can see I got the success message. Why I got the success message? Because in network, this post call gave me the message. Okay, and sorry, they are not returning anything. In post call, they are just returning 201. 201 means the it is a status for successfully inserted. Okay, if we have anything that is successfully inserted, so for that we use the grant this. So we are able to successfully able to add our data inside this API. Okay, inside this API. So
Firdous, one question.
yes,
Here in the browser, even though it is get call or post call, it is showing under posts only.
no.
Here, left side, why it is showing only posts? It
Oh,
is always.
this is a URL. This is the URL. What we have. This is the base URL. Okay. This name.
Okay, okay.
The API name I would say. Okay, that's why it's post. And they are not giving us any data. Hence, we are okay. They have sent those data, so we can see this response, right? And these are the payloads which we have sent. So if we see, we are giving all the proper payloads, right? All the data which we have defined here, it is going to our APIs, right? And in APIs also, we are not facing any issue. It is saving what the data which we have given. And see, they have added one new ID, 101. Okay, it's mean it got added into a new ID. Like till this, the ID was 100, right? So the new API got added, and it had the ID 101. Okay. In reality, they did not add in the database. For the sake of the API testing, they do it in this way so that we can see whether our APIs are going from the UI to their end or not.
Firdous, I have one more doubt.
Okay. Yes.
Actually, it's a question. Actually, normally when we do API call using use effect hook, use effect having multiple forms like without a dependency list, with a dependency list,
Yes.
like that. Whenever we are giving with the dependency list, it will call two times. One is when it is doing first render, and another when there is change in the dependency.
Yes.
If you want to restrict, we have to call API call only at the time of when there is change in the dependency list. We should not do that API call at the time of first render. How we can achieve this one actually?
Mean you wanna see when you want to call it not on page load, right? You want
Yeah,
to
yeah.
call it on what? Okay.
And the change of dependency.
For that we don't. Okay, the get API, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The think there is a way, but it is not coming in my mind right now. Okay, since I work very less in UI, I really worked on back end, so I have to. Yeah, there should be some way, like if you give some dependency here. So,
Okay.
but right now it's not coming in my mind clearly. I will post it in right there. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. So this is for today's class. Okay. So now we are able to do multiple things, and this login portion is incomplete because we can we can add the same thing. So now we will not use any third party API. We can create our own API and then we can use it. Okay. So I'm not doing any validation in login. I am just putting my code here. Same thing, nothing is special. Same thing. But when we create our original, I would say, uh, create our node API, then we will replace this thing with the node or the real API. Okay, and then we can see how it's work. Okay, that's it for today. Anybody else have any questions? Any question from anyone? No. So what I did, I created one more folders. Okay, like 16092003. This folder contain all the details of today's class. Okay. You can use it to, I would say, see what you have done. Okay. And then see in login what I have done. We have created the two separate bases. I would say the separate states. So we can send it in this. Next class, we will replace everything. We will reformat our code. Now we are almost done. We are very close. I would say we have able to achieve most of the things that we need for our website building. We are able to we are able to use the component. We are able to use the router. We know how we can create the page. We know how we can create the get calls. We know how we can use the post call, and we know the validations also. So I would say 60% or 70% of the works are now complete. Now we will integrate with the, I would say, API and design it with our build. We can use any template or any way. We can design those things and go with the flows. Okay. Now it's just a flow thing. And other than this, we can do multiple things like how we can format our application, how we can combine the multiple application and use it as a single application. Those things will come with the time. Okay, when we do a real coding, those things will come. But till here, anybody have any issue? Whatever thing I have taught till here, anyone have anything, any parts which he could not able to understand? Custom, Firoz, Pratik, anything which you did not understood, or if you think you have missed, try to rebuild this application from the stack, and if you need anything, just go to this, let's say, go to this repo, this repo. Okay, then what I did, I see I have created the different folders. Okay, so for 9 September code is here, 10 September code is here, and let me push the code for this latest commit change what I have done. That's it for today. Right? If you need anything, you can ping in Skype chat. I will definitely help you. So this code you will find inside this folder. Folder is not coming. September. Yeah, this is the latest code. Okay, 17 September. So thank you. I'm closing the call.